Hi guys, happy Chinese New Year. I know it's a really odd look. My lips are not yet done. I have no eyes yet and everything, but I really don't want to waste any makeup. So what I've got prepared today is a gold eyeshadow review. Now the thing with the gold eyeshadow review is what I have here are the Pat McGrath metallics. Okay. I can link down below where to get them. I know they're supposed to be limited edition, and they actually are. So if you go to her main website, you won't be able to find them there anymore. However, I was able to find another source that sells and ships it to you. That's how I was able to get my Dark Star, my other Pat McGrath items. It's because of this seller. I also wanted to compare it against, I'm sure everyone that's seen the Metamorphosis series knows how when you combine it with this fluid, it turns into like this metallic, like liquid gold. Turns into liquid gold. I currently have the Decadence palette. Okay. What I was wondering is if the Decadence palette also does the same. So I have my little Metamorphosis pigment here. This is the gold 001 pigment. And of course the Mehron. Mehron. Filipino joke. Mehron means you have something. So Mehron mixing liquid. And I'm going to combine these two so you see what it does, but I'm sure everybody's already seen what it does. It turns into this liquid gold. I'm gonna try it on the Decadence palette as well. I realized this and this give off the same type of shimmer. So if I swatch this, okay, see, it's really gold. Okay, and then if I swatch the Fenty one, Of course the Pat McGrath one. Ooh, yeah. The Pat McGrath one is a lot more pigmented than the Fenty one because the Fenty one is made to be a highlighter. However, if you take the Pat McGrath one and then you shear it out, okay, and then you take the Fenty one and you shear it out also, you get practically the same effect. You can't tell the difference between the Fenty one and the Pat McGrath one. In fact, you can use the Pat McGrath one as a gold highlighter. Well, it gives off the same like gold flecks. So if you already have the Fenty gold, what I would suggest is you layer it on. What I suggest is you layer this on over your eye if you want to achieve the Pat McGrath one without having to buy the Pat McGrath one. If you have the Pat McGrath one, I would totally skip on buying the Fenty Trophy Wife and just use this. Okay. I also wanted to check it against this, the Chocolate Gold palette by Too Faced. I have yet to review this palette. I love it. I've been using it for more than a month. Inside the Chocolate Gold palette, which smells great. Okay, wait. What I have in the Chocolate Gold palette is, using another finger, is this, the Chocolate Gold, which is the biggest chunk. And you see that? It's really gold as well. However, what I can say between the difference between these two is this is actually more, it's smoother than these. These ones have more glitter. So the Fenty and the Metamorphosis actually have more glitter. This one actually comes out smoother. So if you smooth it out, if you like try to diffuse it, it comes off as like a more even shade than this one that's like it's like pure. This one looks like a color, like a very even color across. This one is all glitter, and you can see like the roughness on it. Okay, this one is smooth. Okay, and then you have this, which is the Pat McGrath Decadence palette, which is limited edition. I think it's still available as of now because it's quite expensive. Okay, the gold shade on this one, when swatched, looks like this. That's the gold shade. Okay. What I have here are 5 different types of gold that I have. Okay. This is the Fenty. Okay. That's the first one is the Fenty. And then the second one is the Decadence palette. Okay. That's the Decadence palette. This one is the Metamorphosis Pigment. This one is the Metamorphosis Cream. And this one is the Too Faced Gold. The tone of each is different. This one is lighter, and there are more flecks. So this was created to be a highlighter. That's why it works that way. And then this one, which is the Decadence palette, is an eyeshadow, and it's actually a different formulation. The formulation of this is very similar to this, except this one looks like a more burnt, like it's a more Asian gold, while this is more of a Bangkok gold kind of shade. This one is, like I said, kind of similar to this tone. In real life, it's kind of similar to this tone, but it is intense. It is very, very intense. The cream is actually something that's very wearable, and it's actually more brown, like an ancient gold. And then this is the Too Faced one, which is rather warm. And the cream is the #1 most creamy, but this comes in second, and it's really easy to apply. So I'm gonna try the Mehron liquid on each of the pigments and see if they do actually react. I hate doing this. Disclaimer, I really hate doing this just because you have to kind of like chip away the product that's on your palette, and it hurts me. It really, really hurts me. So I'm just going to put all of the shades onto this palette and then dip in a little of liquid and see how it mixes. That way, if you're contemplating each palette, you'll know which one to get. This one is the original Metamorphosis. This is the Decadence, the one over here. This one is the Fenty, and this is the Too Faced. I prepared 4 like tiny brushes so that I can actually try this liquid onto this. So I can just dip it in and then mix it. Just because I am really cheap and I don't like wasting products because, you know, Chinese and all. So all of them are wet now. All of them are wet, and then now I'm going to swatch them on my arm. So here are the 4 swatch. Okay. Metamorphosis, as usual, swatch perfectly. Surprisingly, the Decadence, you can actually use the Mehron liquid, and it actually will react like liquid gold as well. Never use it with your Fenty highlighter because that doesn't work. But surprisingly, you can use it with your Too Faced gold, chocolate gold palette. You'll just have to use a little bit more. You'll just have to use the correct amount of Mehron liquid. My camera is about to die. Like what I can say is, at least you know that you can use these things together, and I hope it helped out in some way, because these brands keep coming out with more and more gold. What I can say about Pat McGrath is that she uses her labs to test out things on different market, and then puts it in her permanent collection. Unfortunately, even in her permanent collection, Decadence palette is limited edition. So if I'm buying the Decadence, I wouldn't get the metal mats. So what in my next video, when I do review the Decadence palette in full, I'm going to try the Mehron powder on all of the shades and see if it turns to liquid as well. The thing with liquid is it has longer staying power. Not that my experience with this palette has been that it doesn't have longer staying power. Sometimes you use it for, like, when I perform, or I use it on somebody who does perform, it is extra sweaty. So your usual 24-hour type of makeup is just not enough. It comes inconvenient when you can wet your products and put it on. It's like cement and it doesn't come off. So I hope this was helpful in some way when you do your purchases. Have a happy Chinese New Year, and bye.